Okay guys, so I completely screwed up that other image. I really should have stamped it on watercolor paper. So that's what I did, and we're starting all over. I'm not ashamed to admit it. So all of that footage went on yesterday's video, and we're starting fresh today. Now, this video will probably end up being another two-parter, but you've seen me color with Copics, and now you're gonna see me do it with watercolors. And I'm actually gonna use my Twinkling H2Os, and I'm gonna use my, the watercolor pencils. What were they called? Crap. Intense. What? So I'm going to start all over with my masking fluid. And I'm going to be very, very careful so I don't get it all over creation. I'm going to start with the star. And I want to be extra careful to stay in the lines. So I will probably speed through this process because you've seen it once, and I will talk to you when we get to the next phase. Okay guys, so as you can see, I went as carefully as possible over this scene to put on the masking fluid. And I'm gonna let this dry overnight. So when I come back again, when you see me again, it'll be the next day. So I will see you in just a little while. Thanks. Okay everyone, I'm back, and it's the next day, and I've let the masking fluid dry. And again, this is the masking fluid I picked up. It's the Winsor Newton watercolor colorless art masking fluid, and I picked this up at Michael's. Again, use the coupon because it's kind of pricey. So we're gonna start with the background today. And I have taped my image down to the clipboard, and that's just going to give me more control over the image, and so it'll minimize curling a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and I've got my H2Os ready. See them there. And I'm going to go ahead and pull my block back in with my black Stampin' Write marker. Just going to color on this block, and that's so we can have a palette so we can mix our colors. So when we get to the darker colors, so you can do this one or two ways. So let me show you how the other one turned out, even though I had to trash it. I'm gonna have to trash it. So you can really see that shimmer. I just really screwed up on the face, and I really like the color, how it's kind of blue, then it fades to purple, and then it has more of that black. I'm actually think I'm going to do a little less of this blue because it is supposed to be a little bit darker because the North Star is so bright. But again, this is going on a card. It doesn't have to be, you know, so particular. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a wash of water on the bottom right here. And then I'm going to pull in this blue, and this may have been the one that was kind of purple. It's got a little bit of purple in it. Okay, then I'm going to clean my brush. And then I'm gonna move to the next purple, which these are not the same color. One of them is Snapdragon and the other one is with something different. So they're not the same color, even though I thought they were. I've got a couple of things on my, on this. So I really want these colors to blend. Take it down into the next one. And for the next color, I'm going to pick up the purple. And then I'm going to pick up some of the black. I'm going to kind of make my own color. Bring that down a little bit. We're going to end up trimming this down, so it'll be all right. If we don't get any on the edges, clean my block off because I think that's going to be enough of that color. I'm going to clean my brush off. Again, just using a cup of water, dabbing it on to this. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of this purple. And then a little bit of the blue. And I'm not so worried about getting, I know some of you are going, oh no, you're getting it on the clipboard. I'm not so concerned about that because this is the only use I have for this clipboard is watercoloring. Okay, so I'm gonna dry off or wipe down the images. And that's just when we go to remove the masking. Hopefully I won't make a mess. And I'm going to go ahead and wipe down the sides. Okay, and I'm going to call it done with this image, part of the image. So I'm going to move my Twinkling H2Os back over so they can dry again. They were almost dry today, so it's really going to depend on your climate, etc. But remember, with the Twinkling H2Os, you really want them to dry completely before you close it. So I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to speed up the drying process so we can move on to coloring our little girl. And now that it's dry, you can really pick up on that shimmer. Hopefully you can pick up on that. I know there's some light from the glare, but it's very shimmery. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in my Inktense pencils and probably my Crisp Cantaloupe marker, because that's the marker I like to use for skin. So even when this baby retires, I'm gonna hold on to it. So I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use a block, just an acrylic block for my palette for that color. And let's rub this off and see how we did this time. Very nice. I just missed a couple of places and that's all right. So see, you just roll it with your finger and it starts to come up. It's kind of like magic. It's really cool. leakage, but that's all right. And there's some places around her that I think will do like a halo effect. I said I think because I don't know if that will work, but we're gonna give it a try. So I'm actually gonna try to start with her hair this time first. So the great thing about Inktense pencils is when they dry, they are permanent. Permanent. So let's bring in one of those watercolor pieces and let's draw on the back. So this is Willow. This is Baked Earth. And then this is Mustard. And then this is Bark. So all three kind of dark, right? I think I'm gonna use Willow. So that's what the colors look like. Let me zoom you in. That's what the colors look like before we add water. So you can see those there. Let me pull in my brush. Isn't that cool? Super cool. Super fly. Okay, so I'm gonna use Willow and Bark. Excuse me. And what did I do with that bark? Willow and Bark. So I'm gonna do, the bark is gonna be my darkest color. So we're gonna kind of do the darkest around her part. It would be darkest behind her hairline, behind her head. Again, not a professional. And I'm just adding in some color. I need to sharpen my pencils. You guys know I normally start with the hair. Not the hair. The face, but since the hair is so much darker, and I make mistakes like that, I wanted to give this a try. So let's get some water on this and see how we do, how we did. How he does. So I'm gonna use a, let's see. I'm gonna use this, where are you? This tip. Trying to get most of the blue and the purple out. Those colors blending and adding some depth to my little pale angel. I'm gonna hit this with the heat gun. Okay, I'm gonna take Willow and I'm gonna go back in. This is a great way to get layering with these pencils because the color that you dried won't move. You notice that dark bark hasn't moved, even though I've re-wet it. So that's a great way to add depth. Add a little bit more of that dark color back in. Now, even though this is watercolor paper, this Tim Holtz paper will start to pill if you put too much water on it. So just be mindful of that. So there's her hair. I'm gonna go ahead and dry it one last time. Okay, now I'm gonna do her face. I'm gonna bring in my block. I'm gonna put down some crisp cantaloupe. So the right side of her face would be darkest because that's the side that's not facing the star. And you can see that I've got water on her hair again, but that color is not reacting. Kind of defeating my purpose. You can see I'm already starting to get some pillage from this paper. Okay, we're gonna let her face dry a little bit, and then we can always come back and add more because she's gonna need it on the right hand side. So let's bring in just this color. A little dark for me. Let's use some Pool Party. That's Bermuda Bay. It is definitely too dark. Bermuda. Ooh, how about some Soft Sky? Because I just want a little color on her wings. We don't want them to be blue. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see more of the big picture. I need a gray. I guess we'll use this color. This is Outliner. Yeah, that'll work. So we're gonna color on her dress, and I'm just gonna add the tiniest bit. Okay, I'm gonna dry this so I can add some more color. Another cool thing about ink tints that you really can't do with other watercolor crayons is you can touch your brush. I want a little bit of clean water. You can touch your wet brush to the tip of the crayon. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of water. I'm going to pick up a little bit of pigment. And then where I want to darken it up, so you really can make this as vibrant or as subtle as you want. Okay, so let's color Jesus's stable. And for that, I'm going to use Willow again. Okay, and then we're going to add in, I think I wanted blue for Jesus's blanket. That's purple. So this color is, it's blue. Oh, iris blue. Yeah, iris blue. It's blue. Misty, jeez. Soften that up a little bit. And then I'm going to bring in a little bit of that mustard color for the hay. Add in some more of this willow. Okay, let's color, give her some more color on her face. And you're like, oh, it's so dark. It is kind of dark, but we're gonna lighten it up. Okay. Let's add some rosy cheeks. I'm gonna use Blushing Bride. Is she looking like a hot mess? I don't think so. It's not horrible. Okay, so let me bring in some ground. That'll help cover up some of my mistakes. Okay, the last thing we need to color is this star. I really like that glue around it. I know you guys may not, but I like it. Oh, star glow. Okay, I'm gonna hit this with the heat tool one last time. I definitely want to add some shimmer. I don't know, I feel like I need to add some shimmer. I don't know, I feel like I need to add some shimmer. I don't know, I feel like I need to add some shimmer. I don't know, I feel like I need to add some shimmer. I don't know, I feel like I need to add some shimmer. I don't know, I feel like I need to add some shimmer. I definitely want to add some shimmer to the star. Now remember that this is water-based, the Swing Castella, so it could activate your color, except for on the paint tints because it is permanent. Outline our little halo. Too much. Too much. Abort mission. Abort, abort. On our wings. Little in her hair, on her dress. She is an angel after all. Awesome. So let's peel away so we can see our handiwork. Okay, let's get a load of this shimmer. So pretty. Okay, I'm gonna bring in a white gel pen. You guys know on my other sample I tried to use the masking fluid and it didn't work out very well. So I'm gonna try dotting. I like that much better. Okay, so let's cut her down. And then we're gonna put her on a black card base, and it's gonna be a very simple card for this card base for this pretty little girl. I got my piece to my trimmer today. But I haven't had a chance to put it on. cut. I thought that cut a little crooked. Okay, then I'm gonna take basic black. Gonna cut it at 5.5. Oops. This will need a mat on the inside, but this card is already taken 3 days, so I'm not gonna make you suffer through all of that. A score at 4 1/4 to make a standard size card. That's 8.5, 4 1/4 by 5.5. So cute. Okay, I'm gonna take my basic black marker. I'm gonna turn this over and I'm gonna run, see this white edge? I'm gonna run my marker over it. So the whole thing looks painted and finished. This is definitely a time for fast fuse. And now that I'm looking at it, I think it needs something for sentiment. What do you guys think? Actually, I'm going to leave it to a vote. Let me know in the comments. Would you guys add a sentiment or would you leave one off? So there you go, guys. Twinkling H2Os. It took a while for us to get there. And I know that with the, and it may look different when I go to edit. Right now it looks like it's one big color, but it's not. Got the darker blue on the bottom. Then we transition to a lighter purple and then the darkest purple with some of that black on top. Added some shimmer because she is an angel and that's a special star. Put a white mat 4 by 5 1/4 on the inside. Put in any sentiment you want and you have a great Christmas card. I don't know that I would do a ton of these. I mean, you could if you started now. It is April. But I would probably leave this as like a special one of a kind, maybe like to a family member, or, you know, if you go to church, maybe this could be for your pastor or something like that. I don't know. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget, you're going to see a word pop up somewhere along this video. I can't believe it's Friday. I just can't believe it. It's day 24 of Veda, day 24 of April. We're getting so close to the finish line. I haven't let sickness derail me. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time. Don't forget, links to everything in the description box below. Oh, and don't forget that the retired list from Stampin' Up! Came out. Make sure you check that out. Lots of great stuff on sale. Dies, paper, stamps. If there's wish list, now's the time to get it because those things are while supplies last. You can find the link to my Stampin' Up! Store in the description box below. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.